Mothers' experiences raising a child with autism spectrum disorder (ASD) conveys a complex and extremely challenging life. ASD is a lifelong developmental disability characterized by qualitative impairments in three domains: social interaction, communication, and repetitive stereotyped behavior. Research studied concerned the parental experiences during diagnosis in the UK indicated an average delay of 3.5 years for ASD diagnosis, referring that half of the parents surveyed were dissatisfied with the diagnostic process. Children with ASD and their families face the likelihood of poor health, social care, mental health service, rehabilitation, lack of special education, and access to equal opportunities. The aim of this study was to gain insight into the experiences of mothers caring for children with autism spectrum disorders (ASD) in relation to the early life resources and to address the consequences of raising a child with ASD in Egypt. The participants were comprised of 14 mothers, all of whom were caring for a child with ASD aged between 5 and 14 years, mean 7.3 years, SD 3.2 years, mainly boys, 20 out of 13. 78% of the children received a diagnosis of autism. The remaining had no confirmed diagnosis. To obtain qualitative data about the life of mothers of children with ASD, a semi-structured interview schedule was developed as a guiding framework with open-ended questions. The interviews took between 60–90 minutes and were in Arabic, the native language of the Egyptian. This study provided valuable insights into the mother's experiences of caring for children with ASD in Egypt. The findings of the study reported a range of adverse impact associated with caring for a child with ASD in Egypt. These included financial strain, emotional well-being, personal sacrifices of mothers, and social isolation. Findings suggested that lack of awareness, inadequate provision of education and health care, as well as social stigma, constitute the main issues for mothers of children with ASD in Egypt. Revealing the mother's experiences would lead to better services and encourage the development of a set of standards for the assessment and diagnosis of ASD in children across Egypt. This study urges the Egyptian government to provide the support that children with ASD and their families so desperately need, and call for the development of free-to-access services to children and families in Egypt, such as early diagnosis, counseling parents, education of school-aged children, community living arrangements for adults, social and leisure time activities.